Hi, my name is Annie Kenny, and I am a protective parent from St. Mary's County. In 2017, I discovered that my husband had abused our oldest daughter. He was indicted on felony child sex abuse charges and is now a Tier 3 registered sex offender for life. It took 7 months for him to be convicted, and it took 4 years to get a no contact order in family court for my younger two daughters. The reason we have a no contact order for my younger two daughters right now is because he is incarcerated for sexually abusing more children now. At the time of his arrest on his new crimes, I had an active family court order demanding that I send my children to his mother's house every other weekend for visitation, which I was not doing. And I was fighting off contempt charges over and over again. It wasn't until our fourth hearing that the word abuse was ever spoken in the courtroom, and the word sexual abuse, or that term, to this day still has not been used. There was no discussion of grooming, of childhood trauma, the long-term effects of childhood trauma. And, basically in these situations, entire childhoods are being decided, and they involve really complex issues. The people divorcing where there's two healthy parents, they have figured this out amongst themselves and come up with a plan, and they're not asking for the system to intervene and decide what's going to happen next. So in these situations, it's really vital that the people making these decisions understand what's at stake. Those of you who've heard me testify before have heard me testify about the long-term effects and the effects on my children. And my daughter, Nora, has actually come this year to testify as well.
Hi, my name is Nora Kenny. When I was around 8 years old, my family fell apart because my dad was arrested for abusing my older sister. My younger sister and I spent another year after that visiting him at my grandmother's house on certain days. However, my grandma didn't follow the given rules and allowed me and my sister to have unsupervised time with my father, and even allowed us to sleep in the same room. The following year, me and my sister spent one evening a week at Burger King with my dad, but this time it was supervised by a nice lady. When I was 10, I told my mom I did not want to keep doing that, and then I was finally free. I now know my mom spent 2 years after that battling in family court to keep me and my younger sister safe. That was until my dad was arrested for abusing other children. The court system did not protect me, my mom did. The person who knows how to deal with me best is my mom. If she is not given the responsibility to make decisions about my life, I at least want the person who is given that job to be trained specifically on these types of situations. I want them to be trained on how children's and teenagers' brains develop, the facts about child abuse, signs of trauma and behaviors, and the long-term effects of childhood trauma. It makes me so mad to even think about the fact that the adults that could have been deciding my entire childhood have no idea about how I feel, function, and what I need to heal and feel safe. I hate when people talk about what's fair to my mom or to my dad. What should matter in situations like mine is what's fair to me. My childhood is made from so many small and large decisions. It feels insulting to know a complete stranger could be the one making those decisions instead of someone close to me. But what makes me even more angry is that the person that is given the job to make my childhood decisions isn't trained on child development, child abuse, trauma, and other important topics. I hope I will be aged out of the family court system by the time my dad gets out of jail, but my little sister will not be 18 before he is out. I'm so scared for what could happen when my mom goes back to family court. The long-term effects of trauma, which happens when these decisions are made incorrectly with poor judgment, are so incredibly horrific. I have been hospitalized multiple times since everything happened with my dad, and I've struggled with mental illnesses such as anxiety and PTSD as well.